The battle began with a shock that would freeze any watcher in fear. Thor, the god of thunder, stood alone against Khorne, the blood god of endless war. Lightning crashed, fire rose, and every hit shook the realm like a dying star. But in those first moments, it became clear, Thor was facing a force that did not fear gods, storms, or death itself. And Khorne wanted only one thing: his blood. Thor charged forward again, lightning dancing around his body, striking with desperate power. Yet each blow that met Khorne's armor barely left a mark. Khorne's massive axe cut through the air with crushing weight, forcing Thor back step after step. Even as he tried to hold his ground, he felt an ancient rage pressing on his spirit, pushing him close to a place he had never been: true fear. The sky split as Thor summoned his full storm, calling thunder from every corner of the realm. Rain burned like fire, winds howled with force, and Mjolnir struck Khorne's chest with enough impact to break mountains. For a brief moment, Thor believed he could win. But as the smoke cleared, Khorne stood tall, untouched, staring at him with eyes that promised only destruction. Khorne stepped forward, lifting his axe, its blade dripping with the life of countless warriors. The blood god's voice boomed across the battlefield, shaking the ground. He demanded Thor give in, kneel, and offer his last breath to war. Thor refused, tightening his grip and raising his hammer once more. Yet deep inside, he felt his strength fading faster than he wished to admit. The final clash came with a shock that tore the sky apart. Thor swung with everything left, but Khorne moved with brutal speed, catching the blow and twisting it aside. A heartbeat later, the axe pierced Thor's chest. The sound was sharp, final, and cold. As the god of thunder fell to his knees, lightning flickered weakly around him, fading like a dying heartbeat. Thor's body dropped to the ground, storms fading with him. Khorne watched without emotion, his victory quiet but absolute. The blood god raised his axe high, letting the roar of the battlefield echo across realms. For the first time, the thunder stopped. And with that silence, a new terror was ready to rise, because Khorne never wasted a worthy soul. Khorne reached out, placing his hand on Thor's lifeless chest. A red glow spread across the body, filling the air with heat and a pulse like a drum of war. Thor's spirit was pulled back, trapped inside a cage of rage. His body twisted, bones shifting, skin turning darker as Khorne rebuilt him into something far more terrible than a fallen god. The transformation continued as burning chains formed around Thor's arms. Wings of living fire tore out from his back. His hammer melted, reshaping into a massive demonic weapon fueled by blood and storm. Thor screamed, not from pain, but from the force of Khorne's power twisting his soul. He was no longer Thunder's champion. He was becoming Khorne's ultimate bloodthirster. When Thor rose again, he towered like a mountain. His eyes glowed red, filled with endless rage yet still carrying a faint echo of who he once was. The sky broke open, spilling darkness as the newly formed Bloodthirster beat his flaming wings. Khorne stepped back, admiring his creation, a warrior who matched the strength of ancient demons with the fury of a once noble god. Thor attempted to speak, but only a deep roar came out, shaking the land. His memories flashed: Asgard, Odin, the Avengers, but each image was swallowed by Khorne's influence. He could remember thunder, but now it felt distant. He could remember love, but it no longer mattered. All he knew was battle, blood, and the command of his new master. Khorne sent Thor into his first trial, releasing him onto a war-torn world overrun by armies seeking glory. Thor descended like a burning comet, crashing into the ground and sending shockwaves across the battlefield. Warriors from both sides froze in fear, unable to understand the creature before them. Then Thor charged, swinging his new weapon with unstoppable force, ending armies in minutes. The world shook as Thor conquered it without mercy. Lightning still obeyed him, but now it was red, twisted by Khorne's power. Storms followed him, not bringing life, but death. Every victory fed the rage in his heart, pushing him deeper into the blood god's will. And as he moved from world to world, each fell faster than the last. Even Khorne's oldest demons began to fear Thor's power. He fought without pause, without weakness, without hesitation. He destroyed creatures older than time, tore apart armies made of living metal, and shattered fortresses built to withstand cosmic blasts. Yet inside him, a faint spark of the old Thor tried to push through, but it was drowned by the endless roar of war. One day, Thor stood on a field of ruin, the last soldier falling before him. The silence felt different, almost familiar. A memory flickered, a smile, a home, a promise to protect. The Bloodthirster hesitated. For the first time, Khorne felt the shift. But before that spark could grow, the blood god tightened his hold, flooding Thor with more rage than ever before. Thor roared again, louder than any storm he once commanded. The spark disappeared, swallowed by darkness. Now fully bound to Khorne, he prepared to lead an unstoppable crusade across realms. With thunder twisted into a weapon of war and his soul forever lost, Thor became the greatest bloodthirster ever created, a warning that even gods can fall, and sometimes, they rise again as something far worse. Far across the realms, a sudden silence fell over Asgard. Odin, Allfather and ruler of the Golden Realm, felt a violent tear inside the fabric of fate itself. His single eye widened as he sensed Thor's soul drowned under Khorne's grip. The sky trembled as Odin rose from his throne, gripping Gungnir with shaking fury. He whispered, "No blood god will take my son." And with that vow, he stepped into the storm, marching toward a war even he might not survive. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for the next chapter.